LSU versus Clemson may not be the biggest game of week 1, but it has the biggest implications than any other week 1 game. This is the week 1 game that has the biggest playoff implications in it when it comes to the outcome of the winners and the losers. LSU expects to be in the playoffs this year. This is the best team that LSU has had since they won last the national championship in 2019. They returned Garrett Nussmeier, a bunch of proven guys on defense, and they also blended that in with a really strong transfer portal class. So LSU expects to compete and do it at a high level this year. It's playoffs or bust for them. Clemson has the same expectations. Although they're a lot higher than playoffs or bust, it's kind of Final Four or bust for Clemson. Because for a while it looked like Clemson was down and out. We were never going to be as hyped about Clemson as what we are right now, with them currently being a top 5 team in the nation, in my opinion. You return Cade Klubnik, the best returning quarterback in college football. You stole and pulled off one of the biggest heists in college football when you somehow lured away Tom Allen from Penn State. So now you have him, Garrett Riley, which is one of the better coordinator combos in college football. Your defense is a vintage Clemson defense. You have the best defensive line in the nation. And Clemson's defensive line is what makes Clemson the favorite to win this game. Clemson's defensive line is going to be what wins them the game against LSU in week 1. They have 2 projected top 10 picks and TJ Parker, Peter Woods on the interior of their defensive line. They got Will Held out of the transfer portal, who is one of the best edge rushers available. Their pass rush is going to take over this game. LSU replaced the silver starters on the offensive line. The last defensive line that you want to see when you have a bunch of new starters is Clemson's defensive line. They have experience, they have talent, they have depth. The back end of their defense is also really good. LSU, their biggest issue last year is that they had a problem with finishing the second half of games on the road. LSU imploded in several road games last year. They'll come out in the second half, they'll be flat, they'll get the turnover bug, and they'll end up losing all the momentum and walking out with the L. We saw that happen against Texas A&M. Against Texas A&M, what happened in the second half of that loss for LSU? Garrett Nussmeier had to be asked to throw the football a lot more because LSU couldn't get their ground game going. The offensive line got pushed around by Texas A&M's front 7. And that's what lost LSU the game. LSU gets rattled in these second half road games. And going up against Clemson, who has one of the best home field advantages in college football with a great defense, with an aggressive defense, a lot of the issues that LSU had last year, if they aren't corrected, if they can't run the football, and you go into this game going trigger happy throwing the ball, you're going to get yourself into a hole that you probably won't be able to come up out of. LSU has to start this game fast. Clemson, if they start out slow, I trust that they can come back. LSU, not so much, because once they get rattled on the road and once they get down several possessions, this team just doesn't have the heart to fight back and win a come from behind game. They did against South Carolina, but this isn't South Carolina. Clemson has a much better team from a talent standpoint. It's week 1. You know that Death Valley is going to be rocking. It's going to be a nighttime atmosphere along with that. LSU just doesn't have the personnel, the coaching to beat Clemson this year. I'm taking Clemson to get the win.